So this is my Benchmade Bugout, and this is the factory edge. You can see some of the toothiness is the term I've heard a lot. I'll try to get some close-up shots. The edge is pretty good from the factory. It's not like ultra sharp. There in the light you can see some of that, but it's also slightly uneven, so I'm going to try to even it out. It's a little shallower on this end and a little larger on here, so I'm going to try to even that out, make it a little more symmetrical, and I'm going to try to smooth out the edge, get rid of some of the toothiness. I know some people like the toothy edge to give you kind of like a micro serration, but I'm going to get a little sharper as well. We'll see what's going on. This is a Lansky sharpener. I have it mounted to a block of wood. I have a Lansky kit here, and this is a leather stropping tool, also for the Lansky. And yeah, we'll just get this set up. This isn't going to be a full tutorial. It's not going to be like a how-to sharpen, but you guys can watch me do this, and we'll see what's going on. You just gotta clean up the edge and like literally clean it with a little bit of water. And yeah, we'll do a cut test in a second. I cleaned up the blade. nothing on it, and a paper cut test. There we go. That was a me thing, not a blade performance thing. Yeah, like I said, me. Anyway, shaving. Yep. Shaving is not that difficult. So it's been about 3 weeks since I've had the Benchmade Bugout. This guy is the S30V blade. You saw that I was sharpening it earlier, and I like it so far. Actually have grown to like it more since I got it in the mail. The Gravity handles are dirty. Anyway, the handles are pretty good. They are a little flexy, but I've found in using it, almost exclusively carrying it for these 3 weeks, that I'm really happy that I picked it up. It's becoming a favorite around the house summer knife because it's so lightweight and it's got a really good clip. It clips into kind of anything. I have this in my pocket if I go to the gym or anything like that, just because it kind of melts away. It's very thin form factor. The other knife that I have that's a very thin form factor is my Spyderco Delica 4, and this is a little lighter than that as well. It also opens and closes a little easier. Now, I did put some rem oil in the pivot, but I actually haven't disassembled it to clean it yet, but it falls mostly close, and if you give it just a little flick, it'll close itself as long as you're holding the pivot or the axis lock all the way back. If there's any contact on that blade, it won't fall. The edge I sharpened up, as you saw, and I've been using it for 4th of July, barbecue, meat prep. If I have to open like a bag of charcoal or something, or pop open those tops for lighter fluid, opening beer bottles, that's fun. You can do a little. I don't have a beer bottle, and it's morning. I'm drinking coffee, but anyway, I'm not going to pop open a beer right now. But if you can pop open a beer bottle or something like that, you can do it on the spine of the blade, and it's working really well. I like it quite a bit. Now, because I'm around the house, I'm carrying my Microtech, and this is nice, but from a slicey factor, the Benchmade is absolutely better than the Microtech for slicing and everyday kind of tasks. I just like the Microtech because it's fun. It's actually genuinely a good knife, but the Benchmade is kind of in a different class. They're very different knives. But as far as an everyday carry knife, it's a great knife. Is it a better value than something like some of the other offerings, some Kershaws or Civivis or other things like that? I don't think necessarily that you're getting a much better blade or a much better construction. However, there is something good about the Benchmade. I like the fact that it's USA made. That's not a deal breaker for me if it's not USA made, but that does absolutely help. Yeah, and it's fun to play with. I'm driving in the car and I'll just be doing this with one of my hands, and that's why it's kind of broken in with the speed that it has. As far as opening, I find the thumb flick to be the most reliable. I don't reverse flick it very well. That was actually one of the first times I've reverse flicked this successfully on the first try. That's what it usually turns into. But yeah, I don't find that very reliable. Pocket clip's great. I think out of the box, this needs nothing except maybe clean up that edge a little bit. I wish their factory edges were a little better. I don't care about the toothiness. What I care about more is the symmetry, just from a cutting feel perspective. That said, S30V, it's not the best steel that is around currently, but it's a really good steel, guys. And again, maybe that's just the generation I grew up in, but S30V, not the best, but really good for what you get. Really, not really. It is on significantly good at edge holding. It's not on the top tier. It's not like M390 or whatever they're using in this specific Microtech, but for edge retention, but it's a little tougher. It does have thin geometry where you're going to get most of the toughness from. It's not so much from the quality of the steel, but you have good stainlessness, you have good toughness, and you have good edge holding. So as long as you're not doing stupid things with the knife, you're going to be fine. Also, it is super thin, super easy to carry. It can go anywhere. It's also legal in a lot of areas to have a knife of this size. I think it might be just a hair over 3 inches, where the mini Bugout might be a better option for you. If you live in one of those states where 3 inches is kind of your magic number. But for me in Connecticut, 4 inches is the magic number, and I can't carry automatics, which is too bad. So I'm stuck at home with an automatic. Anyway, see you guys.